find out.
Here's what I'll say. I'll answer your question with my opinion.
Okay.
I'm more scared of Cuz's Gragas than Rascal's Aatrox.
Oh, absolutely.
And that's with full knowledge of Aatrox's power level. So, let's see what the consideration is as KING-ZONE DragonX. They had Yuumi banned against them the entire series.
On blue side as well, yeah.
Now they are going to be the ones opting into a red side Yuumi availability. First pick Gragas basically being screamed at the top of the lungs.
Well, Xayah and Yuumi have been banned, the Varus also, so Aatrox, Akali, these sort of champions, Ezreal, going to be flirted with. The Akali finally going to be banned here by the Afreeca Freecs. The last ban could go to the Aatrox, and if you're going to ban one of them, you probably should ban both, right?
Gragas, Ezreal first pick is the big story here. They banned the Taliyah, the no red side Taliyah. Dread also an accomplished Taliyah player, we should remember. So, do they ban Gragas or Aatrox is the question to Afreeca, or do they leave them both open and take the one not selected? They leave them both open. They will ban the Karma, and KING-ZONE could not have thought less about gleefully locking in Aatrox. Do they lose Gragas Ezreal for this selection? With Kai'Sa open, maybe they don't care.
Well, the Jace is being hovered at the moment, but I have a feeling that the Ezreal priority should certainly be through the roof. As far as things that were banned in the previous series, the Xayah, of course, once again, going to be on the ban list. Rakan was banned for some reason in game number 3, but the Kai'Sa is going to be locked down, and Kai'Sa Nautilus could come in here if Afreeca just want to take a solid bottom lane.
And Ezreal Tom available as the answer for KING-ZONE.
If they want it.
So let's see if they actually do go for the Kai'Sa, or if they go for the Gragas here, you would think. Is also... Rascal will be on Aatrox duty and picking a strong top lane option. Now Gangplank could be strong here. Jace is a possibility. They will go the way of Jace.
Still, a flex could be played by Yukal, so might be holding on to Keen's pick, might be holding on to Dread's pick, and might be holding on to Yukal's pick. So excellent use of red side so far for the Afreeca Freecs, as KING-ZONE have to round out their composition. Now, where is the Aatrox going? And where
Nico
is
Karthus here? Or maybe an AD mid laner in Karthus? Is a way they've drafted before. They're going to stick with Neon's form pick in the LeBlanc mid lane that he played in the most recent game. I thought maybe Nico for some more zone controls to allow Aatrox and Lucian to do their thing.
Also still holding on to the flex option as well, because Nico can be played by Rascal to pretty high level as well. Rascal, a big fan of the Nico in patches past, of course.
Who's jungling? We ask of KING-ZONE DragonX.
Is it time for Nidalee? No, it's not. It's time for Jarvan.
Pick power here. LeBlanc, Jarvan do a thing. If the tether hits, you die. It's usually the way it goes. And Afreeca, with full information, knowing it will be Aatrox top, might be giving Kane something that a lot of Korean teams have moved away from. Was prepping with the Korean casters before the LCK final. They were adamant that Kennen was gone, at least for that particular series. A lot of teams have moved away from it. There's been a lot of community outcry in Korea, among the Korean community, about the AD on hit Kennen that we're probably expecting here. Could be AP as well, given they're pretty low on AP damage, but you would assume it's Keen wanting to take over the game.
And also the reason why they put Silas into the jungle as well is because he is a source of magic damage alongside aiming as well, depending on what his build is going to be.
You're not forced to go, though. You can go AP Kennen and win for a time, and obviously hit those mid-game fights running, because KING-ZONE have just about all of the mid-game tools. In fact, at 2 items, they have Lucian, LeBlanc, and Aatrox who say, actually, we're pretty good here. Anything else, great.
And a pretty stock standard comp coming in from KING-ZONE as well. I mean, you augment it with the J4, and it just does stuff in the mid-game relatively effectively. And Cuz is going to have a lot of agency earlier on as well. So a very different look here for game number 4 as we're coming in, and we'll see whether KING-ZONE can use this composition you see on your screen right here to bring themselves into another best of 5 against Sandbox.
A very interesting best of 5. Well, we will wonder how Sandbox will rock up after their capitulation, their mental destruction against SK Telecom, where we remember Summit spent most of the series running it down. Actually running it down.
Sandbox did not really offer much resistance to SKT, who did eventually, you know, run the full gauntlet.
How are the kids doing the resistance in the clutch? The kids of Afreeca Freecs need to fight back, otherwise this series is done after game 4.
Yep, the young boys onto the Rift for the 4th time here tonight. Let's get into it. Game number 4, KING-ZONE versus Afreeca. Well, it's still in the afternoon hours as far as Summoner's Rift is concerned, but we are well into the night here in Korea.
Pause. Not long enough for us to go from dusk till dawn, but we'll see what we can do.
There's anything of note, having a look down?
Ability Power Cannon is going to be coming out in this game. So Keen says, enemy team has a lot of pick power and wants to play at 2 items. I'm going to opt into some AoE burst and crowd control of my own. In fact, I can't remember the last time Keen played not on hit cannon. He is definitely known much more for that than the AP variant, so something a little bit different from Afreeca's top lane.
And also going to get some hella value out of the Morellonomicon, which I think is fun. As Electrocute's traded here in the mid lane as the minions do crash. And note that Yukal has taken the Ignite. He really wants to play aggressively in this lane this time.
Don't recommend an Electrocution party at home, but that's what we saw in this particular area. Dread is going to be starting on a ward, so actually the level 1 vision advantage does spot the side of the map that Dread is starting on.
But look at how many defensive wards there are for Afreeca. There are 4 wards around the jungle to try and keep Dread safe in these early stages of the game.
Want to really guarantee his 3 camps on the top side before he starts brawling, and potentially ward off a cheese gank from the Jarvan on the top side perhaps. Kennen can't do much of the AP variety if he blows his flash early. Even more costly than the AD variant sometimes. That was Nayeon's first LeBlanc game of summer, so nicely done by him.
Not a bad one. In fact, the only positive win ratio as far as these champions are concerned. So see whether KING-ZONE can fix that one, as Senon's probably going to get stunned up here. But losing out on that trade is aiming a lot of damage without any threat on him.
Guardian versus Aftershock. Nautilus will always get value out of that Keystone if it's available.
But if there's a follow-up engage here from KING-ZONE, that's when the opportunities start coming in. And now Cuz is making his way down. He's been so active, aiming, flashing so early, knowing that Cuz was probably on the way in, and even manages to get the longest flash ever, and aiming's going to burn down to the red buff. It should be a double kill here, but Zenon gets the Titan's Wrath back. Dread dives on in, but that's called inting, my friends. Double kill for Cuz.
Don't really know what to say about the secondary part there. Dread just completely misread the scenario. After all the damage was done, he decided to park over the double buffs as a tribute. KING-ZONE get what feels like the biggest mental edge in the early game, and we knew that Afreeca would struggle from behind. Probably did not anticipate it to be quite that level. As speaking of the mid lane plays with tethers, at least Cuz's flash is down.
Exactly, and there's an acceleration gate there, so Yukal not going to have to use the flash. Does miss the empowered shock blast though, which means that Neon is going to be very comfortable here in this lane, despite the CS margin not necessarily reflecting things that are good
for the lane.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, it goes over to Cuz, so high value there for Afreeca. As Senin decides to spend some time under the turret, gets stunned, and with the turret aggro there as well, Aftershock is not going to save you from that trade.
Really should stop trifling with Lucian Braum.
Yeah.
You forget sometimes, because the lane is a bit out of favor, and Korea famously didn't really know how to use it. If any duo in Korea can play kill lane, speaking of kill...
Yeah, he's the one with the Ignite, but now Neon's chasing after him. The Ignite is going to go down there as Neon throws his clone to try and block some abilities. Gets himself the Siege minion, but now will have to go back home. Teleport is available, but he's the one with the flash down now. As Dread's parked on the bottom side.
Deft has no reason to look for any aggressive harass here, and they know. The likelihood is they're dealing with an aggro bot. Like, TUSEN and Deft have played this perfectly. Even if a gank is found, the amount of time they've wasted is insane.
Yeah, and now he goes back home. So
and they would have scouted him.
Absolutely nothing.
And they would have scouted him if he stayed. Like, that is veteranship of bot lane. Remember when we used to praise Smev for always knowing that how to play around theoretical jungle attention? That is Deft and TUSEN putting on a masterclass of playing around the potential for a jungle. This was the all-in. In case you guys are wondering. Now, Cuz did not hit the EQ flash, but it didn't matter because it
was the concussive blows,
and
right?
That's right. At the moment that the concussive blows start stacking up, you can go for that same play that would look very silly if you didn't have it. Please, can someone explain to me what Dread is doing here?
Okay!
Just bad.
I mean, you can just go back to the play-by-play. I think it didn't take too many words to explain the situation. Unfortunate.
Veteran players really do come up trumps in important games, and they absolutely played Afreeca's trio at that point like a fiddle.
Yeah, and as far as the comms are concerned, things pretty healthy between the teams as well.
Here's Cuz.
Sorry, between the players on KING-ZONE's side.
He's just rolling around as Cinderhulk Jarvan. This is going to be one of those Jarvans that just no one can kill.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, he's pretty much set up for a pretty comfortable game. This time around, no one can contest his clearing of all of these control wards, and now there's an Infernal Drake for KING-ZONE to augment their already fantastic early game with. This is called a sandwich, ladies and gentlemen. Dread dives on over the top, but Neon's already killed the Kai'Sa as an afterthought. The chain's going to go wide, but the Winter's Bite is there. Senin able to create enough distance, but you can see the vision certainly there for KING-ZONE. Rascal's even pushing in on the top side as a flow-on effect from KING-ZONE's early game. Feels like the mental of the Afreeca Freecs has officially broken, and KING-ZONE have overcome their horror of a final part of summer. Better late than never, Papa.
I think they got some muted mics on the side of Afreeca. Why is the duo lane roaming up when LeBlanc is already basically on top of them and Jace wasn't able to rotate? Seems like the comms are falling apart, the team is falling apart. Definitely understand what's going on the side of Afreeca and just can't be surprised by it. Again, this is a roster that we're really hoping sticks together for 2020 because it's a 2019 development project with a lot of young, talented players, but still plenty of developing to do.
It is an investment of a roster.
Well, that's why if it gets destroyed, like if 2 players leave, then you kind of wonder why they bothered, right?
Exactly.
Because it just never could achieve something in the short term. It had to be a building project because of what it's lacking, which is really any veteranship or obvious shot calling. So we're hoping that we'll see the best of it next year. For KING-ZONE, this spot lane is pretty much done.
Yeah, this is a pretty comfortable scenario. As Keen going for the Gunblade build, does have the Bilgewater Cutlass just to help the laning phase even more. As Kleptomancy going to help him get a whole bunch of that money. And if he's auto-attacking the enemy champion, the lifesteal can certainly help out as in comes Cuz, and out goes Keen. Vision available there as Senin gets himself back to the comfort of the turret, but how much comfort is there? Oh my god, okay. Senin's going to survive, only barely. Thankfully, he's got a Relic Shield to get that health bar back, but Def just demonstrating the buff to the culling. It hurts.
I'm much more familiar with the dulling, which is whenever I try to use the culling.
Yeah, me too.
Oh boy, that was a lot of damage. The press the attack proc really puts it over the edge, and the buff wasn't even there at level 1, so that was just old culling doing a lot of damage.
Yeah, Deft using basically the last remnants of his mana just to try and harass aiming out here as we get a bit of a zoom in. Real cute one.
Deft is,
yeah, he's a comfortable boy right now.
It's very nice to see at least once. Even if they go on to lose to Sandbox, it's nice that we saw this Deft, you know?
And this Deft and Tucson combo, right?
So
far this series been destroying the Afreeca Freecs.
A lot of the players in Korea with defined playstyles, outside of maybe SKT, kind of fell away this year, you know, like Prey and Smeb and all those players we used to shout and scream about.
Even Score, right?
So to see, like, Deft, one of those same era players still rocking it is really cool to see. I was actually doing some math and... Oh, hold the point.
Yep. No time for math right now. The flash does come out from Rascal to take him to safety, but the World End also was utilized as Cuz is going to steal away a blue buff, understanding that Dread was on top side of the map.
Do you want to hear an interesting quick stat?
Yeah, give me the quick stat. Is it about dragons?
Faker is the only player in the LCK still there from the first LCK split of 2015 spring.
That's played in every split. Score, right?
That's played in every split since 2015 spring. It's actually just him. So that's not 2012. That's 2015 spring.
Yeah.
And there was one.
Wow.
With Score gone now, you know, there's just no one left.
The old guard is gone. It's out with the old, in with the new, but
Tucson
thankfully
played
a lot
in
of
that
the new
split,
has
but left.
stepped
But
up.
I'm saying in terms of playing every season from 2015 spring, when we hit to 2020 and we expect Faker to still be there, he will have been the only one.
Yep. And, you know, Deft is spending a hiatus over at... okay, that was really cute. Threads the needle.
Oh, I got the other one,
gets
too.
the second change.
At some point, that's just... we need a replay.
Yeah.
Can we pause?
I want that in ultra slow motion just to see it wander past the minions.
Some of those players really do bend it like that.
They do. It's very impressive. Neon's LeBlanc has been on point today.
Even though this game feels very decided, mostly because of Dread's kind of turbo int in the bot lane.
Yeah.
Old lead's not massive by any means, but the tempo, you know, the control of the pace of this game. KING-ZONE's deciding everything, and Afreeca's kind of dealing with it. Is our current place. As what's Dread up to? He's AFK. I mean, I think he probably knows what's up here, though.
He's waiting for Rascal to come back. And then he's going to hear Shelly yell, and he's going to feel a bit silly, unless Rascal's going to face check and finds Dread. And now moves comfortably over to his turret. It's called Ships in the Night, and not the kind of ships that are on Afreeca's side. As Cuz goes over, notices that Agatha is missing, and he then realizes that he traded a Rift Herald for a Gromp.
That was a Song 1 maneuver from good old Dread.
Yeah.
Song 1 was a previous hide-on-bush player. He loved to, we had him, what, 2.5 minutes one time?
He was certainly, he was diligent. He was one of those people that could work for the National Geographic, you know, waiting for those perfect tiger moments as they walk past. He's like in a weird cabin for like 2 years.
Have you seen the Family Guy parody of that?
No.
The fire truck? It's actually really funny.
Oh my god, I need to watch it. I need to watch it for my LCK research.
I think if you Google Family Guy fire truck, it'll probably come up.
Alright.
Maybe nature documentary or something.
If Afreeca somehow managed to claw back this game, I'll do the research. I apologize, I didn't do the required.
We're going for a pick
Tucson,
here.
Yeah, dives in onto Senin. He's going to die before being able to use the Aftershock, but no, goes golden, keeps himself alive for a little bit longer, eventually dies as the Silas once again. Dives into the middle of the enemy team, and he's very dead. Keen gets a huge slicing Maelstrom is aiming. He dived in, but he just couldn't close the gap, and KING-ZONE have killed everyone apart from aiming, and Rascal wants to rectify that situation as well. They get the flash, Tucson doesn't die, and KING-ZONE are so far ahead.
They're just greedy, Atlas. They're not sharing anything. They're taking everything for them. They'll share the gold with Tucson, but he deserves it. He's done some hard work, and it started with a Braum engage, and it ends with Afreeca comically far behind. as the cha-ching is real on this bot lane gold pinata.
Yep, just eating all of these plates 13 minutes into the game. Perfect timing for Shelly to come down. They'll take this turret as well, as Deft is more than happy to go 1 versus 2, because Tucson was so incredibly low, and Cuz going to solo out this Cloud Drake, get himself over this wall, and continue amassing gigantic amounts of money.
Well, Tucson decided they would start fighting. There was a flank teleport coming. It doesn't matter. Deft is already so strong. Even with the Yukal roaming up so quickly, it's the quality of the champions fighting now that's just not there. What did we say about KING-ZONE? 1 item, godlike. 2 items, even more godlike. That's the scenario we're in. We're around 1 to 2 items. And that's why you hear the confident claps from Hirai,
Acorn was pretty
Supreme,
happy.
Friends. KING-ZONE know. They've done it.
Yeah. They've broken the Afreeca Freecs by the looks of things. And I don't know, man. I was ready for Dread to show us exactly how he managed to get to rank 3. You know, all of these whispers that we heard about how good his form was, it doesn't mean a lot if you can't back it up when it matters, when you're on the big stage with the last opportunity to go to Worlds on the line.
Well, I mean, Cuz also having a godlike game.
He is.
100% kill participation already.
He's had a godlike series, actually, in the games that they've won. His Rek'Sai was fantastic. His Gragas, of course, was amazing, topping the damage like he always seems to do. Now, the Jarvan seems completely immovable.
What did we say about KING-ZONE struggles? Form check on the top 3. Where are they at? Rascal has been fine. Cuz has been inspired. And Neon has been very good on the LeBlanc especially. So the form check is passed. And to no one's surprise, Deft and Tucson, I should say, in great form.
Well, Deft and Tucson, that's a given. They are always just going to be good. And Deft is once again going to go for what looks like the Essence Reaver build after the Blade of the Ruined King. He sometimes toys with this build a little bit, almost builds like a Xayah or a Sivir on the Lucian, but has decided Blade of the Ruined King was necessary this game just to play more aggressively. Yep, and he's going to. Slicing Maelstrom does nothing. That probably could have been a 1v1, as Neon is going to finish it off in the end, but that got a little bit too close for comfort. KING-ZONE very comfortably take down the top laner as Rascal just maneuvers himself out. Cloud Drake helping a little. Perfect
game pace, and the harsh fact for Afreeca is that they're almost certainly going to lose this game, and they don't get any do-overs.
Nope.
Like, this could be the last game they play together. We don't know about the status of the Casper Cup. I guess there's an outside chance that's going to be a tournament. They're still together. But that was new rosters, if you remember.
Exactly, yeah. That's the thing. It's
last
quite
year,
late
so
in the year.
This roster may never play again if they lose this game, and that's why when you have games like this, where, you know, this is the surrender, the scrim moment, you're just kind of looking for a kill to get back some confidence.
Oh, the culling right underneath the turret as Tucson was the one tanking Dread. He picks up a culling of his own, but throws it right into a door, and the door is still standing.
This is where you just 5-man death squad and get a kill. That's what you need. No perfect game.
Yeah.
Is all you can really shoot for. I know the gold lead is not that massive, but 5,000 in 16 minutes with Infernal, with just how strong KING-ZONE will be, and the fact that Afreeca don't actually outscale by any means. Yeah, it's very clear where we're at in this game, and I'm sure that's not lost on Afreeca.
Yeah. The real worry is that the item spikes that are coming very, very soon for KING-ZONE are just disgusting. As we have a look at this once again, Neon diving a turret pretty happily.
He's very good at things.
He is. And Even is in the more aggressive position after that one.
Remember when we talked about how the moment Cuz got 2 kills is going to be unkillable Jarvan? Let me introduce you to Gargo Stoneplay and another Ruby at 17 minutes into the game.
Oh, God. And there's a lot of champions that want to do auto attacks, and he has the Ninja Tabi. Like, that's high value also.
Yuka's like, I've got flat penetration. Yeah, let me get you. How do you feel about my jerk?
And Cuz says he doesn't feel it. Not even a little bit. As the Afreeca Freecs trying to defend their outer turret in the mid lane. They are going to, as Cuz is spotted on a ward. But, yeah, that's Afreeca Freecs saying, yeah, we can see exactly where he is. He's got no information. Wait, we can't kill him at all. Wait, they almost did, and damage. Did they? Did they? Okay. Claws his way out as Dread. Is he going to throw his life away once again? Yes, he is. Dives right in on top. Cuz taking a lot of damage. Dread does die as Slicing Maelstrom's trying to take down Tucson, but he goes golden. The culling onto Keen as Neon gets rid of Nautilus as Aiming dives in to the back line. It will be a suicide mission, though, as Rascal looking to jump on top of Yukal. He does so, and Rascal just celebrates by pressing R, running to the mid lane after the King Zone ace.
Sometimes you got to twist and shout, as does Rascal in this case. This dirty Rascal. He's going to get through and push down the mid lane. Out of turret. How about an Ocean Drake to be slowly taken down by Cuz? They averted the perfect game. They got something going for them.
Yep, there you go, Afreeca. Not going to fall to the perfect game, but 7,000 gold lead at 18.5 minutes into this game. This game feels about as over as it can be. Essence Reaver is completed here for Deft. He was one of the people to go down and still has a gold bounty on his head after that is all said and done. It shows how far ahead KING-ZONE were. As, engaging onto Cuz.
Went for the Ambition RN EQ out. Dread actually did a lot of damage with his stolen Cataclysm.
Yeah.
It was cool, but obviously only really a one-way trip into the Death Chamber for him. Keen almost culled to begin this all, and yeah, Afreeca are able to get a little bit of pride back with some kills, but it was only always going to be a little bit.
Tucson also, I believe, was going to burn to death to Yukal's Ignite. So it's a bit of a shame that Aiming had to throw himself away there, but did manage to pick up the kill, and now has a Rage Blade to his name also. I mean, maybe in the Kai'Sa we trust could be the thought process here, as Keen's looking for Morellonomicon as item number 2. I value this game, actually, not the LS meme this time around. When you're up against an Aatrox, Morellonomicon, pretty good item. The problem is, Keen is a team fighter, and he won't have a Zhonya's Hourglass for a very long time.
Also, he needs kind of Morellonomicon Void stuff and Zhonya's.
Yeah.
And if he had all 3 of those, I think they still lose to points.
Yeah. Not a lot of good news here for Afreeca Freecs, as KING-ZONE piling their way through. Yukal.
He hit that chain too.
Another
okay.
chain gonna land, yeah.
That's normal.
It's a targeted ability. It's like old Rise. As KING-ZONE are not going to check that brush. And Afreeca are losing a hell of a lot of money on the bottom side.
I mean,
Yukal has to go back.
Cuz absolutely can check that brush.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
Just keep your EQ up to EQ out. You can definitely face check it.
Does he even need to do that? How long does it take Afreeca to kill Cuz? A long time.
Yeah, a really long time.
Oh, he's even got a Spectre's Cowl now as well.
Yeah, I know. He's building magic resist even further to heal off of the Slicing Maelstrom, I guess.
As Yukal not going to get
he missed one.
Oh my goodness, as Rascal, World Ender is up, but there's no Morellonomicon, remember. That's a good knock-up as Aiming wants to get in there, but Rascal's going to take the 2v1, not mind about it, and deliver himself to the turret instead. Aiming does get kill credit for that one, but 1 for 1 is not what you want.
With 2 people invested as well. It is not ideal, but you'll take any kills you can get against the flow here if you're Afreeca Freecs. So definitely not the easiest calculation of all time. Culling hijacked, but it is a level 1 culling.
Yep, and Culling feeling a little bit better coming out of Deft there as well. Of course, does scale with AP, and especially when it's picked up from Dread, as that's a decent ultimate coming out from Tucson, as Cuz once again doing the ambition trick and easily takes down the Nautilus before he can even think of trying to re-engage. And a turret going to go down. Good God, that burst damage from the LeBlanc. 4-0 and 10. Damn, I'm so sad that there's no MVPs. Cuz probably should have got 3 for this game.
I'm pretty sad we didn't sub in Valdez for this one because the Wabam potential is very loud.
That's true. I apologize.
This is
guys.
some real Wabamming. We haven't had it. We've had proverbial Wabamming for a while, but this is some Wabam.
Are you proud of me though? I still haven't said Wabam.
I'm very impressed.
Because it is, it's the LS thing, and
no, it's the Valdez thing.
Sorry, LS thing, the Valdez thing, and it's not my thing. It is so much fun.
It is really fun to say Wabam. I'm completely in agreement there.
Well, rapid fire cannon done for Deft as we have a look at Senin just being murdered underneath his turret.
He's really, really far ahead, and Cuz also doesn't take damage.
Yeah. Yeah. He just wanders in, presses R, and then he uses the opposite direction. Easy. Happens relatively consistently.
He is not at 100% kill participation anymore, so he's been made mortal.
Aha, that's true. Only missed out on one of them, though. And that's probably because people are dying too fast.
think he's sitting on quite a lot of gold because he had the same items before, and I guess he really wants to buy Adaptive Helm, so he's trying to buy it pretty straight up. What is it from here? Like a rejuve feed and a really expensive recipe, I think?
Yeah.
So I guess he just went double control ward to do the team vision thing while he held on to the better part of 800 plus gold.
And also, I mean, if he's just patrolling the jungle here, he's creating a wall that Afreeca just straight up can't walk through. So as long as Cuz stays on the map, there's not a lot that they can do. As once again, another Cataclysm flies in. The depth charge is on top of him, but no one can follow up, and Senen's just going to die even through the Aftershock.
Cuz is healing!
Yeah, good God. Aiming dives on forward. Oh my God, Deft is still alive! As Keen can't do enough. That's what happens when your wallets are this damn heavy. And Yukao can't do anything against Rascal, who will just smash him in the face with his gigantic sword. And I think, ladies and gentlemen, that was all she wrote. The inhibitor turret is going to go down, and this should be just the game for KING-ZONE.
KING-ZONE look in renewed form, almost the same as the last time we could say that back at Rift Rivals 2019. KING-ZONE want to go to Worlds, and Afreeca certainly won't be the team that will stop them.
Yep, 24 minutes into this game, Senen is an afterthought as he pops underneath the Nexus turret. Second one going to go down here as Dread has been not having the best game of his life, and they're not even going to look at him. He tries to flash onto Deft, but he's going to die. Cuz grabs that kill, and now KING-ZONE just want to mop this one up before the Nexus goes down, but they can't do that. Too much damage, and a 3-1 for KING-ZONE DragonX as they take down the Afreeca Freecs.
And this could be oh so important because KING-ZONE off the boil for the better part of 2 months, but back from dead after game number 1. They put in 3 really impressive games where a lot of the plaudits will go topside, and also Deft and Tucson did their thing in bot. This is also an important result, Atlas, because it confirms that none of the 2018 representatives will be going back to Worlds. Afreeca Freecs, the last team in with a shout. 10G not qualifying for the Gauntlet, and KT 8th place in summer season. Congratulations to KING-ZONE. It would be some weird world where our spring champions into missing Worlds in 2018 could actually qualify. They're only 2 best-of-5s away.
Yep, through Sandbox and then through Damwon is KING-ZONE's road to victory here, and one of those 3 teams will be our 3rd representative heading towards the play-ins at the World Championship this year. And if KING-ZONE keep playing like this, remember they lost game 1 as well, so it's even a better test as far as reading how this KING-ZONE roster are feeling, because if it was a 3-0 sweep, they'd still be